GMO has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. GMOs have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. GMOs have got to go. GMOs have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. GMOs have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. GMOs have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. GMOs have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. GMOs have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. GMOs. Seek freedom. We want it now. What do we want? Seek freedom. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Seek freedom. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Seek freedom. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Seek freedom. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Seek freedom. When do we want it?
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! GMOs have got to go! Ho, ho! GMOs, hell no! Monsanto! Hell no! Monsanto! Hell no! I say Monsanto! You say hell no! Monsanto! Hell no!
Rachel,
Hell no!
where's your bullhorn?
I don't have one this year.
So how are you feeling about this particular protest? The numbers?
I think it all looks great. I wish more and more people would come out, but I mean, as you can see, there are thousands of people here. It's great to see such an amazing turnout, and we'll see at the festival. I'm sure there'll be thousands of people there, so I'm really excited.
Good. Thanks for saying hello.
Hello.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! GMOs have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! GMOs have got to go!
Picture of your sign? That's a great sign.
Oh yeah, here. I got great reviews.
Did you want the women's or the male? Yeah, all women's and men. Anyone else interested in t-shirts? Yeah. Juice? I want a grape. Okay. What size are you? Okay. And then I need a women's. You want a women's t-shirt as well? Yes. And then the one where she is 15. Small. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. And that's the medium?
This is small. So what they're trying to do is get all these youth leaders together and try and spread the message about it. So that's what they've been doing with us. They've also created educational programs that they've been trying to send to schools as well.
So you spread the message about what? About GMOs?
Okay. Labeling how we all deserve the right to know.
Okay. So specifically about this, not about like education.
There's many different issues. They have like 20 kids and they all have a different issue.
Oh, okay.
So
this is your issue.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this issue?
Well, at the age of 11 years old, when I found out about it and how they weren't labeled on our food, I panicked and I realized that, you know, we all really did have the right to know. And so I tried to look for an organization to join, but I couldn't find one that was active enough for my liking. So I decided to create my own, and it's just grown since then.
What's the name of your organization?
Kids Right to Know.
Oh yeah, okay, I saw that.
Our booth is right here.
And what would you recommend for kids who might want to get involved with this kind of thing in the future?
Well, what we're trying to do is actually create clubs in schools and chapters where other kids can become ambassadors for our organization.
Oh, that's cool.
So if they'd love to get involved now or in the future, we would definitely appreciate that.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I don't know whether you know.
That's the Defiant tomato. Lovely, beautiful tomato. And this is also good for growing in a pot.
Bolivar Park. Yeah, but
On the Defiant
play with it.
So, it feels like only a few short months since the last time we met here on this hill. And today is such an important day because we all are reuniting globally for the food fight of our lives. We are working endlessly to create awareness, but companies like Monsanto and other biotech corporations with their so-called crop science, or should I say crap science, have managed to infiltrate our lives and modify every level of our lives. As you know, they are now sponsoring major sports events, infiltrating our schools, getting into the media, our government, and disturbing our democratic right to know what's in our food. As you know, the common argument they use when they infiltrate schools is that GMOs are safe and needed, that our youth are part of a socially responsible action by eating these genetically modified foods. Little do they know that this is as far from the truth as they could possibly get. Not only that, but farmers are being sued for genetically modified seeds that they did not plant, they cannot use, they did not grow, and they cannot sell. The corporate mentality of growth at all costs is having devastating impacts on our planet, our environment, and our health. From the dying off of our marine life, to the melting of our glaciers, global warming, dying off of our bees and butterflies, even the loss of control of safe food and seed supply. It's really heart-wrenching to see the damage Monsanto seeds and Roundup is causing to our environment and to our health. The use of agricultural pesticides resulting in huge rise of cancer and disease in our own nation. But the science is on our side, and the evidence is clear that the use of agricultural pesticides such as Roundup in our food is resulting in huge rise of cancer, digestive disorders, kidney failure, even things like neurological diseases. Today, the leading cause of death in children is cancer. And Roundup, which is a herbicide used with GMOs, has been directly linked to cancer. We've been eating this for the past 20 years, and it is not labeled on our food. An MIT researcher even estimated that by 2025, 50% of children will have autism due to the glyphosate in our food, water, air, and soil. When will the insanity stop? And our government is turning a blind eye. I mean, for instance, I challenged our Minister of Health a couple of years ago, and it took a year for her to respond, and 20,000 signatures later. When she finally responded with the help of Global News, we had a lengthy meeting, and I was told that she did not have the mandate to label GMOs. So she set up a meeting with me for the Health Canada officials and scientists. When I met with them, they told me the same thing, that they didn't have the mandate to label GMOs. So I asked them, who does have the mandate? Who is responsible for our transparency? Who's responsible for giving us the right to know what's in our food? And the response I got was that the Canadian Food Inspection Agency might have the mandate, but they probably wouldn't want to label GMOs anyways. That they probably aren't really responsible for it. Isn't it scary to think that there's no one looking out for us? own elected officials, such as our Minister of Agriculture, Jerry Ritz. He's recently determined that he has to combat the misinformation about GMOs, and I quote, he said farmers must combat the steady stream of misinformation by spreading the word that GM crops are more sustainable and higher yielding than conventional crops, because that's the message that resonates with the public. Ritz also took a shot at the anti-GMO movement, or as I like to call myself, the pro-nature movement, claiming our motives have nothing to do with food safety. On top of that, and I quote, he said, "It's a fundraiser. This is all about making money." He said, "This is what drove 2 of the founding members of Greenpeace away from Greenpeace." So, for instance, us, we're a non-profit organization. We're doing it to make money for ourselves, obviously. No, of course we're not. We're trying to get the word out there. We're trying to gain transparency for every single one of us. That way we all have the right to know what's in our food. Our movement has struggled to gain funds over the past years, and he's criticizing us of trying to gain money for ourselves. When our very government, I mean particularly Jerry Ritz, he says that he supports biotech corporations, but by supporting biotech, he's also supporting their tactics, which include putting ads in newspapers, which supposedly represent all farmers. He's also distributing new pro-GMO activity books and coloring books to schools. He's hiring media and PR to put a good rep on GMOs and smearing the reputation of any scientist whose research shows biotech crops in a negative light. And so the result of this all is misinformation. And their goal is to prevent us from having the right to know that 64 other countries around the world already require. Canada and the US are the only 2 industrialized nations in the world that don't require mandatory GMO labeling. Why not us? Don't we deserve the same right? But I have to say, we have come a long way in these few short years. It wasn't that long ago that nobody knew what a GMO was. I remember walking into schools and asking kids, who knows what a GMO was? Put up your hand. And the response I got was nothing. Crickets. But now when I go into a school and I ask that same question, I get at least 50% of the class raising their hand. And it's been so incredible to see this mass awareness being spread. And of course, it's thanks to all of you. You guys are the real ones who are coming out here every year, who are making real change. If it weren't for the thousands of people that arrive every year, we wouldn't be having this mass awareness. Food companies are now actually starting to realize the benefit of going non-GMO. Products that are non-GMO, when it has the verified sticker, usually have about a 20% increase in sales. So more and more companies are starting to see the benefit not only for themselves, but for the environment, for our health, for the consumer. Not only that, but Chipotle, Whole Foods, and the original flavor of Cheerios have decided to go non-GMO. This is the progress we are making by coming to this march. When you are coming to the march against Monsanto every year, you are not just marching against Monsanto. You are marching for nature. You are marching for our environment. You are marching for our health. And you're marching for all of our democratic right to know what's in our food. So thank you, all of you, for coming out. Huge progress that we've also seen in the US. Vermont has just passed a labeling law. So now they are going to have mandatory GMO labeling. There are a couple of other states that have conditional labeling laws. On top of that, there are many other states that are looking into putting mandatory GMO labeling laws. So within a year or two, we could have mandatory GMO labeling in the US. And there's hope for Canada as well. I recently had the opportunity to work with MP Murray Rankin. He is now the official health critic for the NDPs. And he has put in a motion called M480, which is to get mandatory GMO labeling. So what we need every single person to do here today is to call your MP. Please call your MP and tell them to support mandatory GMO labeling. It's so important. Murray needs your support. Because if this motion passes, we will have mandatory GMO labeling here in Canada. So please get out there, email your MP, call your MP. It is important for every single one of us. On top of that, the election's coming up this year. We have an incredible opportunity to spread awareness about GMOs. Also, tell your neighbors, tell your friends, go to your local grocery store and tell them that you will not shop there unless they carry more non-GMO products. They will do it. They listen to consumers, trust me. Also, what's happening right now, which is a little bit disappointing, is the genetically modified apple. It was just approved here in Canada not too long ago. And actually, I spoke with our Health Canada officials and asked them when it would be approved. And they lied to my face. I asked them when, and they said it could possibly be a year from now. And a week later, it was approved. Now, although this was disappointing, our movement continues to grow. Go to your grocery store, tell them you won't shop there if they carry the GMO apple. I'm almost done.
That's not tomato. That's tomato. Buddy, that's tomato.
The World Health Organization has recently said that GMOs, the herbicide that they use with GMOs, which is glyphosate and Roundup, is a probable carcinogen, and it probably causes cancer in humans. Now, when I spoke to our Minister of Health here in Canada, she said that if there was any issue with GMOs, she would label them. Well, these GMOs are being drenched in glyphosate and drenched in Roundup. And if it's causing cancer, shouldn't she uphold her promise? Shouldn't she label GMOs? Together, we can stop Monsanto. Together, we can stop the other biotech companies from ruining our environment, from ruining our health. We have to protect it for the future generations. I mean, look around here, there are so many kids, and we are being faced with this huge issue. And it really is destroying our planet. But I'm so glad that this is a time where everyone is starting to wake up, and especially the youth. They're waking up, they're rising up, they're standing up for our future. And I feel so empowered to be part of such a huge movement that is really making big change. You guys are what makes it possible. And as a part of the youth, I can only allow myself to have hope for the future. To me, giving up on hope for our future would be like giving up on the miracle of life, the miracle of nature, the miracle of all of us. That's why we have to continue with this work. As Rupert Stevens once said, always leave the earth better than you found it. And I really hope, well, I know that it is all of our goals. If you're out here today, that your goal is to leave the earth better than you found it. Because we do owe this to ourselves and for the many generations that are yet to come. As I always say, one planet for all for one planet. Thank you.
Every kid's got a right to know. Every kid's got a right to know. Everyone
whistleblowers at school today. So why do they wanna put our heroes away? And why don't they wanna put labels on our food? Is reading the label still important to do? And we wanna tell the world's governments that we don't wanna be their science experiments. And what's the problem with our organic foods? Tastes so much better and no chemicals too long. Every kid's got a right to know. Every kid's got a right to know. Everyone's got a right to know what's in their food. Every kid's got a right to know. Every kid's got a right to know. Everyone's got a right to know what's in their food. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, ladies into the Riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.